Hello, welcome to Let's Talk About Meh. I'm going to be 100% honest. This is probably my 8th take in trying to do this. It is a lot harder than I thought to just sit and talk into a camera in a room by myself. I have struggled so much just to talk as myself. So this has already been a massive, massive learning experience. So, what is this? Truthfully, I don't know. Let's Talk About Meh is going to be a mishmash of so many things. And I know that people always say when you start podcasts and you start YouTube channels that you need to have a focus and you need to find an audience and you can't make it about everything. Well, I've never been one for taking on good advice. I always try and do things differently. And I stubbornly try and do it my way, which may not be the best way. Sometimes it is the best way. So yeah, let's talk about meh. This is going to be a very self-indulgent project. I'm going to talk about things that I like, things that I'm into, whether that be music, movies, television, just all kind of things that I'm interested in. On the flip side of it, it's also going to be a podcast. I think that I've led a somewhat interesting life, slightly out of the norm, not always good. I've had different traumas in my life, which a lot of people have had. You know, this isn't going to be a trauma channel. Or maybe it is. Maybe this channel is going to bring on more trauma. Guess we're just going to have to find out. But yeah, I feel I've led an interesting life. And I feel like I know a lot of people that have stories to tell. So we'll start with me. We'll start with, the obvious one. The guy sitting in this chair, talking to this camera, rambling absolute rubbish. So my name is David James Hobbs. I am 37 years old and I feel like I'm 57. I am happily married. Again, I've been in trouble for this before, but I forget the exact amount of years. It's definitely 12 and over. I'm sorry, don't murder me, Susan. I have a 8-year-old son called Corvin, and both of them are my world. They keep me going on a daily basis. They also drive me absolutely nuts, which I think is the norm. I think that's normal. I think we can all agree that that's a normal thing. But they are absolutely my world. I will be singing their praises non-stop and probably bitching en masse about them repeatedly. I live in the very, 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 very far north of Scotland. As in, if you go any further north, you're dipping your toes in water. And if you can swim really, really good, you'll make your way to Orkney. I've been here pretty much all my life. I've moved away a couple of times, but you're talking months, maybe at the most. Months. I've been here in the far north, locked up like a madman with sheep my whole life. I am a late diagnosed autistic, which keep that in mind because that will probably explain a lot of my behavior. Which I think autism is far more um, accepted. It's not the right word, but recognized. And a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about will involve that because I firmly believe that you don't have autism. You are autism. It's neurodivergent. It's who I am, and I'm very proud. And it's taken me a long time to accept that I am neurodivergent and figure out how that all works, as have a lot of people. But that will be something that will be quite prominent going forward. Um, what else? I'm into things that most people are into. I like movies, video games, music. I love music. I create a little bit of music, moonlighting, being an artiste. Probably at the moment, one of the more interesting things about me is that for 11 years I've been a pro wrestler. I know some people go, ugh, pro wrestling, good, that's fake. Now, see, I'm allowed to use the F word. I'm allowed to use that word. Um, and by the way, we are aware of that. Just so you know. We're aware that it's not real. It's real to me, damn it. Um, so yeah, I have been doing it for 11 years, and I run a training school as well. I've been doing that for 11 years. It's been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life, and it's also been one of the hardest, and on top of that, one of the worst. And it is always a Richter scale of highs and lows. And I believe if you're passionate about something, then you should have highs and lows in it. I think if it was good all the time, I would be bored and I would have moved on to something else. I believe the challenge and the drama, I could do with it, the drama, but it happens. And I think it happens with anything. But especially with pro wrestling, there are so many aspects to it. There's so many good things about it. It brings out really, really, really good stuff in people. And because I perform pro wrestling, I also run a promotion and a school. It's something that I have thoroughly enjoyed doing for my community. Seeing families and kids go to these events with stories that we've created together or that I've come up with and other people have come up with, and just seeing the reactions of families and becoming invested in these characters, and it's it's been a trip, an absolute trip. It's been a ride, man. So yeah, I've been doing both. I've been performing and coaching for 11 years. Moving forward as well, I'm rambling a little bit now because I'm getting really nervous in front of this camera. So you're gonna have to bear with me. It's gonna take me a while to get used to this whole format and be remotely entertaining. Um, Going forward, I'm going to be doing podcasts as well. I'm going to have people on. A lot of them are involved with either my training school or the shows. They are all, I think everybody on the planet is interesting. Everybody has a story. Everybody has something to say, whether good or negative. Some people say too much. But yeah, so I'm going to have people on and we're going to have some interviews over the coming weeks. I'm going to be batch recording these videos. So this is probably going to go out weeks after I've actually done it. But yeah, so we're going to have some interviews, some fun folk to speak to, and some fun things to do during these podcasts as well. What is the plan overall with this? Let's talk about Met. Well, it's a creative outlet for me. It's something for me to do, something for me to be able to have this mind that I can sit and chat and natter to and talk about things that I'm passionate about and share it with some folk, whether it's 2, 3, 4, or 5 people. 5 would be nice. Five's always a nice number. Actually, I tell a lie, 8 would be better. 8's nice. If we can get 8 people that sit and listen to my absolutely rubbish patter, then I'd be happy. I'm not looking to build this into anything like a YouTube content creation thing. It's more just for me, and to be selfish about it, it's something I would like to do and have fun with. Obviously, you can tell that it's going to be rather mishmashy. I'm not going for overly produced content or ideas. I'm going for a raw, unfiltered kind of style where it's just talking into a mic, conversations, and having a natter. So let's do the fun content creation bit is like, subscribe, bell notification rubbish. And I actually cringed saying that. My soul just lost a part of itself. I'm 37 and I just said like and subscribe. Ugh. Oh, I suppose it needs done though. So yeah, we're gonna have different ways for folk to get in contact with me and probably abuse me and tell me how cringe I am. So the email is official, LetsTalkAboutMeh at gmail.com. I guess if you want to get in touch, ask questions, request things, hell, let me know how how great I am. I am aware that's not gonna happen. I will also be running off of Instagram, which is Let's Talk About Meh 1 on Instagram. And obviously we're going to be on YouTube, so you can just search Let's Talk About Meh into YouTube. I'm pretty sure everybody knows how that works at this day and age. So the first thing I want to talk about, or the main content on the first ever car crash of whatever this is I recently had a wrestling show. We hold 6 a year in my small county, and as of recording this, it's Halloween time, and we do a show called the Monster Mash. It's got your standard wrestling matches on it, your feuds, and to end the night, we have a rumble. And for those that don't watch wrestling, a rumble is basically 2 fighters, combatants, start in the ring. Obviously, they wouldn't be starting outside, and every 90 seconds, another wrestler will run to the ring, and they all have to throw each other over the top rope, and feet have to hit the floor, and it's basically the last man standing or person is the winner. And the Monster Mash is special because we deck the entire venue out in Halloween decorations. I say we. It's my wife and all the helpers that she grabs. My wife does so much at these shows, by the way, and I would deserve a beating of epic proportions if I did not say that these shows cannot work without my wife. She's front of house. She does all the tickets. She is the first smiling face that you see as a customer when you walk through that door. She handles ticket sales. She handles merch. She even, when she can, she films the events as we're running. She does so much. She is a superstar, and they would not happen without her. So yeah, there's the flowers, as they say. There's your flowers. So yeah, we do the Monster Mash. We deck the venue out in Halloween decorations and celebrate everything spooky. But the Rumble itself is special because all the wrestlers, whether you're good, bad, spooky, scary, evil, or super nice and the crowd are behind you, we all dress up in cosplay. Not just scary Halloween costumes, but cosplay. And yeah, each year it is a surreal experience to be performing in the ring, um, and seeing these costumes come out and the personas and then having to battle each other is just insane. And it puts a smile on my face just thinking about it now. The first one we did, I was what you call a face, which is a nice person, and I was fighting a heel, which is a baddie. It was myself and RJ Cash. And that year, I came out dressed as Rick from Rick and Morty because my son Corvin, we always try and integrate him into the Monster Mash in some way, so he gets to dress up as well. I mean, why shouldn't he? He's awesome. So yeah, I was in the ring, came in as Morty, and then the big bad heel came out, RJ Cash at the time, and he was dressed in full Elvis garb, like full Vegas Elvis garb, with the wig, the shades, the white jumpsuit, and just watching footage back of me in the white lab coat, the blue jumper, and the massive crazy hair wig, and we just start battering each other. I just absolutely lost it. It's a surreal experience. And then you see people coming in dressed as Taylor Swift, Um, Thor was in the first one. Um, Obligatory man dressed as sexy maid. This year in particular, we had a inflatable Godzilla, which was a highlight. Um, Deadpool came in, including the NSYNC dance, which was phenomenal. So shout out to Liam, who's one of my trainees. I was not expecting the dance. The dance was amazing. RJ Cash, who is face now, I think RJ is outdoing us every year with a costume. The first year he was Elvis. It was simple but brilliant, and it was a good quality costume, and he owned it. The second year he was Freddie Mercury from "I Want to Break Free" music video. Again, amazing. Never laughed so hard in my life. And this year he was Wolverine, and the costume was amazing. And I mean, he hit the gym hard to get into that costume too, and he looked so good, even to the point where he grew his beard in and shaved it just before he went out to get the mutton chops. It was amazing. RJ Cash is definitely someone that you want to try and outdo for next year. But yeah, the show was great. It was so much fun. I was really nervous leading into this show because I've been doing this for 11 years and I have so many niggling injuries. And at the moment, I'm kind of on the shelf. I have a rotated hip that's not sitting quite correct. I've got a bad back. This year in particular, I've had nerve damage in my elbow. I've had problems with my foot, my knee, my right shoulder's just completely not in a good place. So yeah, I'm just a walking car crash. But Monster Mash this year was just so much fun, including that my son Corvin. Uh, so he wanted to go as Michael Myers from the Halloween movies, and the Halloween movies are some of my favorite movies. Halloween, I think Michael Myers could be my favorite slasher icon. I watched the Halloween movies when I was young, and I really shouldn't have seen them. Cheers, Dad. Um, but I'm a huge fan of the original, and I did watch the many, 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 many sequels when I was younger, and I did like them when I was younger, but I can't watch them now. They're just so bad. But the 2018, I don't think it's fair to call it a reboot because it is kind of a direct sequel to the original Halloween. Um, but the 2018 movie, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, I know they're quite divisive, but I like them. I thought they were really, really good. Um, and even though the Halloween Ends is quite FA and not as good as the other two, I still like it. I still think it's a good end to the Michael Myers story. So my 8-year-old son has not seen Halloween before anyone freaks out, but as you can see, I've got like comic books, and this side of the room is absolutely filled with board games. But I've got a Halloween board game, and he saw the picture of Michael on the front of the board game, and he's become obsessed with him ever since. So I've got to try and PG the explanation of what Michael is, and my son is also autistic, so he kind of like latched onto it in a special interest way, and he just wants to know everything about Michael Myers. And he's like, right, I'm going to dress as Michael Myers for the Monster Mash. And he asked me so many questions. It was like method acting. He was like, how does he walk? How does he walk when he chases people? And I managed to find YouTube clips that were safe and didn't contain anything that he shouldn't see. And he maybe watched, 4 clips. Maybe each one was 20 to 30 seconds each. And he practiced it in the living room and in the back garden, much to my neighbor's shock. And he nailed it. He did the whole head turn, the swivel thing, and yeah, he came out and just absolutely nailed it. Um, and to see him do that was, as his dad, was amazing. He loves coming out in the Monster Mash, and yeah, he got a big applause, which obviously makes me very, very happy. So yeah, this is just a quick rambling video to explain what this is, what it's going to be. I have no idea how I'm going to build on it. I'll tell you the first thing I'm going to do because it's now 3 times I've clicked my monitor. Is turn the screensaver off because I lose all my information. So that's literally amateur hour, and this is what I'm going to be dealing with. So yeah, I know this isn't exactly a overly exciting video. It's me rambling a lot, but yeah, hopefully I get a little bit better at this. I will have more things to talk about. I want to talk about music. I want to talk about movies. Hell, I might even be reviewing movies and music and video games. I'm an avid gamer. I have been all my life. And slowly over time, you'll know more about me. You know more about my life, and whether that's interesting to you, we'll see. Um, so yeah, I think I'm gonna probably quit while I'm ahead and wrap this up because I can feel the nerves kicking in again, and I'm probably gonna freeze. Just ramble on as I am now. So yeah, so one more time, we'll go for the let's talk about the email, which is official. Let's talk about meh at gmail.com. The Instagram is let's talk about meh1, and obviously the YouTube channel, which you can get off your lazy butt and search for it yourself. Um, yeah, I'd also like to point out before anyone critiques me how I'm not looking into the camera lens. So one of the traits of being autistic is we can't look into people's eyes. And I'm beginning to realize that it's the exact same sensation I get when I look into people's eyes when I look into a camera lens. So yeah, I think this is going to be the general look is me looking at the monitor, not the camera. So apologies about that. So yeah, let's wrap this up because it's getting really awkward now, and I will be back with another video soon. And I hope that my first interview is with my trainee and wrestling performer RJ Cash, and I have loads more lined up. And I'm looking forward to talking to these people and introducing you to them all because they are really, really interesting people, and they've made my life better. Sometimes worse, sometimes really worse. Like some of them are a pain in my ass. Um, but they know that, and they know I love them. But yeah, so I haven't got any sign outs, haven't got any call outs yet. So yeah, we're just gonna cut the video.